What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, we talk about the news that happened in the world of RC relating to the scale market. I missed last week because I was traveling back to the Midwest, but we're back and we're going to catch up on the last couple weeks worth of news. So let's jump into it. First thing, and thing that you guys have probably seen already as it's a couple of weeks now, is the new Axial UMG 10 SCX-10-2 kit version. The last kit version of an SCX-10-2 that we had, not including the raw builder's kit, was the original release of the SCX-10-2 with that 2000 XJ kit. Now this one's got a very cool looking Unimog style body with a kind of honcho style construction tube rear cage with some nice body elements back there, some fenders, and it's got an interior as well. Overall, I like the style of it. It's got a hinged body, so the whole thing tilts back, easy access to the chassis. The only thing I don't like about the kit is that it uses the shortest Axial wheelbase that they have available, and that is the one that we used to see on the old Dingo. This is a sub 12-inch wheelbase. This is an 11.4, I believe, so a really short wheelbase, and you know, they're trying to make the Unimog style kind of fit in proportion. I would have preferred a longer wheelbase. I prefer that longer wheelbase for performance, at least the 12-inch at a minimum, but the 12.3 at a preference. It does have proper military style tires though, and actual beadlock wheels. This is also using the original kit version of the transmission, which was the 2-speed capable version that had a different style motor layout, gear, and true transfer case styling. I know there's still a lot of kit fans out there, and if you're one of them and you're looking for something new, here's your opportunity for a new Axial SCX-10-2. I believe the full release of this vehicle is coming towards the end of the month or early the following month, so I'll put the link to the official product page in the description below. You can follow that, pre-order yours if you like. Otherwise, there'll be plenty of information there as well. For those who haven't seen, the monthly Mayhem series is back with myself and the Scale Builders Guild. This time we're taking Proline short course fusion kits and we're turning them into Ultra 4 cars, or Ultra Fusion is what we're calling this series. So Matt and I are both taking completely different routes. I'm doing a caged version on top. He's going with a Power Wagon style. We're both using big 2.2 Hyrax tires. Trying to take these things and turn them into the best version of a rock crawler or Ultra 4 style vehicle that we can in this short amount of time. So go check those out. There's videos on the Ultra Fusion Monthly Mayhem every Monday and every Friday up until Proline by the Fire, where Matt and I will both have the vehicles in person there and do our final competition. So make sure to check that out. Should be a good time. We're having a lot of fun with it already. I'll put a link in the description below to the videos that we've already posted if you want to do a little bit of catch up. Axial's been doing weekly live feeds on the status of Axialfest coming up, and in the most recent one that I've seen, they announced that aftermarket chassis that are SCX-10 based are going to be allowed. So there's no more of the, send in and get them approved or anything like that. If you have an Axial SCX-10-2 based chassis rig, then you're going to be good to go. So a lot of you guys with these fully built rigs and all kinds of crazy custom chassis, you're good to go. No worries about tech this year. A number of weeks back, we had talked about some new trikes that were coming out from X-Rider. They're releasing some new motorcycles that were shown on display at the Beijing Hobby Expo this last weekend. These look pretty good. There's some retro style. I've owned a number of RC motorcycles in the past, and I keep buying them even though they're so hard to run. These look really good though, and they're pretty appealing and kind of making me think that I want to try them as well though. So I probably haven't learned. I'll probably pick up that vintage looking one just because it's got a cool scale look. The rider figure on it looks really good in scale and proportion. Just overall, I think they did a really good job with this setup. I'm interested to kind of see that in person. So if you're interested in them as well, I'll put the links to whatever information that I might be able to find in the description below. And speaking of the Beijing Hobby Expo, there was a number of other things shown there for display, and we have limited information on them still at this point. It looks like Hobbywing is releasing a 550 version of their Axe setup, and the one that was shown on display showed a 3300 kV speed on it. So that one looks like that may be a little bit more power. That 550 can that they have probably has a stator size a little bit more consistent with the 540 motor that we're more used to. So maybe that 550 can will be a little bit more appropriate for a lot of us who are looking for a little bit more power out of those Axe systems. On the 4-wheel scale side of the Hobby Expo, there was also some new releases shown. RGT showed 2 new crawlers that they have in 1/10 scale. These are a Jeep release, and the actual info that we could see on them was pretty hard to figure out. Most of the posts that I saw on Instagram or things like that were in Chinese and I couldn't read them then, but I think there have been some other posts that were actually in English that I may be able to get a little bit of information out of. So I'll find what I can. I'll link you to the posts that I found, at least on Instagram. You guys can kind of see what they're showing. RGT, kind of one of those OEMs that we've seen come out of China that, you know, we see a lot of their releases in other brands as well. So this is just another one, but all of these brands are kind of following the trends of the market as well though. So even some of the releases that we're seeing out of them are coming and looking a lot more like some of the more capable and up-to-date rigs that a lot of us are driving now. And lastly, there was a new chassis setup from Killerbodies shown. Now they've got that LC70 very scale hard body that we've seen used a lot of times now. And they've got a very scale looking chassis on display, leaf springs in the rear. I think this is mainly based on that LC70 to be able to drop it on there and just have a very scale truck. It's got scale motor, transmission, transfer case, drive shafts, rear axles, suspension, the whole deal looks very scale. I don't suspect that it will be ultra durable or ultra performance based. It's just meant to look very scale. So if you're looking to go slow and just, you know, creep through things and drive in a very realistic fashion, this may be a good option. If you're looking to, you know, have something you can kind of beat down the trails, probably not the option you should be waiting for. Prices on almost all of this stuff is unavailable still, since it was just being teased or, you know, sneak preview or initial viewing at the Hobby Expo. So we'll have to wait for a little while before some more of that information rolls out. But that's where we're going to cut it off for this week's Scale News Update. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have an awesome week. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see these videos as soon as they get uploaded. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, have an awesome week, and we'll see you on the next one.